Good morning and welcome back to Ladybug Grace. I'm going to recap my video of what sold. Give me 1 second here. I'm just trying to adjust a couple things. There we go. And I wasn't happy with my video last night when I was looking at it early this morning. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just not happy with how it turned out. So I'm going to redo it. I'm going to make it shorter. I'm just going to recap what sold so far this year because I had a few other sales come in this morning, so they're ready to go too as well. So I'm going to start with the most recent, which is this morning. I'm going to cover up names. I'm just going to show you pictures just to give you a variety of what I'm selling. But here's a big clue. Yarn is what I sell the most of. So that is what you're going to see repeated over and over again. Plus some other little things that if you've watched my picking videos, you will recognize. Like the one thing I just sold this morning was the Wizard of Oz doll set. If you recall that's been listed for a couple weeks. So let's turn around and I can show you. I'm not going to give you figures. It's just going to be easier just to do it this way. Okay, so things are covered. Good. So in terms of what sold this morning, as I mentioned, the Madame Alexander dolls sold this morning. So that's the Wizard of Oz dolls. Hopefully, whoa, okay, I can't go up any closer. So I don't know if I can, oh, I can go closer. Here we go. So those sold. I sold this yarn. That was the color match, just off-white yarn that I also sold this morning. So that's packed and ready to go. Rug yarn, I do sell that often. Different varieties and colors and so forth. This time around it was the green one. I sold the Kate Spade wallet yesterday that I bought the other week. I sold the Big Twist, which is like a t-shirt, call it yarn, but that sold and that is going out too as well. Excuse me. That is a cross stitch kit, a Kate Spade portfolio in the sense that it holds like a 9x11 tablet, not computer tablet, but actual paper tablet. That sold. That actually turned around in like a month or so. So there's that. We also have crochet yarn went out. That was 2 of those that went out in that order. These clips, I had somebody asking me to go down in price, and I'm like, no, because I shouldn't have bought these, because what I paid for them and what they go for, I'm barely breaking and making any money on it, maybe $1 on it, and in the end, because the shipping of course has gone up, so it's ridiculous. Also sold this Red Heart yarn. It is the green yarn flecked, kind of like a Christmas type yarn. Again, this is another one I had a lot of people asking what the color is and so forth, to come down in the price. And again, that was one I was the only one who had it. And I haven't received any of this type of yarn since. It must be pretty hot commodity to come by. It does sell all over again. This was a wall light cover, Beatrix Potter. As you can see, it was made from wood. This was that was a small stitch kit in terms of cross stitch. It had like beads and baubles with it too as well. This was an iron-on transfer that sold. These were a pair of shoes from Born clogs. I did do a bend test on those just to make sure that they were okay. This went to the UK actually. This one, the Disney Pooh Bear cross stitch blanket. Now I have another one that's like it, that's more of a throw. This is a cotton blanket that sold, that got shipped out. This was an art piece I took an offer on. I don't know if I really will go down that road again and buying more art pieces. I think I'm going to back off of that. They do take a while to sell. I mean, some of them are good, but like this, I mean, you got to worry about breakage and things like that. But I still have that huge one in my garage to list. Actually, that's in the video. I would have actually kept this for myself. This was Crystal Snowflakes. This is Crystal Snowflakes that I wanted to actually keep for myself. However, I decided it might be best that I do sell it because I don't need to keep anything for it. No, not right now. Not right now. You have quieter toys. Okay. Other things that sold were more yarn. This was a Pioneer Woman turntable, brand new. That was on a haul video within the past couple of months. It shipped to California, actually. This more yarn, the loop yarn. This was my hazardous material yarn. It still hasn't been delivered as of today because that's going ground. I forget where it was going, actually. I thought it was on the East Coast, but maybe I'm wrong. This is the one I canceled because the teal color looked darker in the picture than in real life, and that's why I messaged her just to make sure. This was one I had a multitude of lots for, but you know, it takes time. That was the Bath & Body Black Raspberry Vanilla. All right, sorry, I just had to deal with something quick. This was a pet harness that I sold there. This was something for horses. I bought them. It was a random thing I never saw before at the Goodwill. I bought 2 different varieties of it. This one sold. The buyer had more questions, which I didn't think to take photos of, but she knew what she was looking for, so she asked me to do that, and I did, and she ended up buying it. So answer your emails if you get questions. This is that velvet yarn, and I will... If I ever see this again, I will definitely buy it. I only had this maybe not even a few weeks. This sold very quickly. And I never saw that before. The letter C from Pottery Barn. These are things, again, I've never seen before. And will I buy again? Probably not. Because it sat up there for a while. This was another stitch kit that went. I need to adjust some of those because I have them as first class envelope. And it allows me to do, which I don't understand with eBay. It allows you to pick that as a shipping option, but then you can't ship it that way. It's very frustrating. So I ended up losing some of my profit for that. So I got to go through and change those. More yarn. More yarn. Are you seeing a pattern? More yarn. More yarn. More yarn. More yarn. I just think it's funny. Oh, and this little animal. I had that for maybe a year or so. It was a vintage animal, but one of the beads on the back that was glued on is missing from the wings. So thankfully, I did disclose it, and thankfully someone bought it. They just have to fix it. It wasn't a huge, like, I could have asked for more if it was totally perfect, but it wasn't. So I'm happy to flip it. Some animals, I'm just getting out of the stuffed animals. It has to be really good for me to get it. This jacket thankfully sold. This is one of the listings that I had all those jackets. It didn't have a size in it, but thankfully she gave me positive feedback, so it must have fit well. Just the measurements did it. And I know some people complain about doing measurements, but I will do it all the time. Canceled. They bought that in error. I do remember that as soon as they bought it. I don't understand. This is that Iceland yarn that I had that I now have more of from the recent haul that I need to get listed. I'm still working through that. If I ever see this again, I will snatch it up in a heartbeat. Sold very quickly, very well. Got my money. No, not even an offer. They just bought it outright. Yarn Bee yarn, which I'm running low on. I haven't seen those in any of my honey holes lately, so I'm going to be running out soon. Another stitch kit. These were 2 of those tapestry. They were the pegs of stampers that I bought at the Goodwill. I got the ones they had, it must have been 2 different people pricing them. I got the cheaper ones and have only listed these so far. I need to get on to listing more of them. And the same person bought these 2. I did ask if they were looking for more because I hadn't listed some, but I need to get more of those listed. So that's why you see partially refunded. Gave her back money for shipping because it was combined shipping. The yarn, vacuum bags, Dirt Devil, and there's another one you'll see later on that I did that too. More yarn. Computer bag, something different. Yarn, macrame cord actually. Oh, okay, let me turn it, go to the next page. I hope you're finding this beneficial. I don't know. I know a lot of people like to do the what sold video so you can see that, and maybe it'll help you when you're out there shopping what to look for, because I know it helps me when I started doing this to see what other people were buying. Most people were not buying yarn though. So I never saw that in any of the videos. That's just something I kind of fell into. And so I was doing shoes primarily. I think I mentioned that. It was always shoes. That was me. And I got into yarn because I found it sold. So that's where I am. Again, hey, guess what? Rug yarn. I think I'm out of that color now, actually. Yarn. Those are those snow pants I listed. I think you remember that video was maybe in January. I still have a couple more pairs that did not sell, but I was happy for that one because that was brand new and I got positive feedback on that one. That was more yarn. This was a set that was my grandnephew's that when they moved, they left a lot of their stuff there with the animals I gave them, so I resold that. Went to California. I actually lost money on that because I didn't, for some reason, accurately weigh it. Strange, because I'm usually very good, and see, that's just proof there. You need to be careful how you're weighing. Yarn. There were those Minnetonka shoes that I bought, almost brand new. I think I got positive feedback on those too. Yarn, partially refunded. She did this is the one where she cut it and it just wasn't worth the fight of sending it back. So I left it go with there. Yarn. And this is the purse. I guess I could talk about this now. It was in my other video if you're watching it again. So I finally got the stitch, the loop kit, or the tissue box kit, which is going to be further down back, from this lady who I mixed up the orders for. I actually kept the purse, sent her a refund, and unblocked her. Talking to you in person, I don't play with that. She was very rude. She was condescending when she said, I sent her a label to return it because there was no communication. At one point in time, I was just like, you know what, just keep it. I got both money. I'm done dealing with you people. I'm just over it. But I just wanted to make it right. So I sent her a label because she was, excuse my expression, dicking around and doing stuff. So I'm like, I will send you a label. And then she never responded. And I said, what are you doing? Are you getting your label? What are you doing? Well, you said you're going to mail it. Well, you need to tell me what you want, because I'm not a mind reader. I'm very bad at it. I don't know how you are, but I don't do well in that. So I finally mailed her the label, and she sent me this long message in eBay, which, you know, it's long because it's small. And she's complaining about the size of the label, how she had to turn the bag around. She had to go talk to the postman to see if this was acceptable. Oh, I had to go out in a snowstorm. I mean, nothing was right. So eventually I'm like, you know what? I'm done with you, because if I send you this purse, you're going to complain and you're going to bitch. That's where I was. I prayed on it, and I said, you know, I just didn't feel good about it. So as soon as I got the package back, I verified everything was there. I immediately refunded, gave her a nice little email about I wasn't condescending. I just said, based on our past experiences, I don't think I'll ever make you happy in terms of a purchase. She must have that problem in other places, because if you looked at her feedback, there was other issues there too. So I just refunded her and I was done. Wipe the slate clean. I'm not putting it back up for sale probably for months, because I just want it to go away, and then I'll relist it later on when kind of like the dust settles. So she can't go to someone else and say buy it, and then there's a problem. So I don't mean to be that way, but it gets to the point where I'm just over it. I really am. So bye. So that saga is over. It's a beautiful purse. It's great for spring, but I'm just leery of, you know, I had one story where someone bought a rubber stamp. It was over a year ago. She used it and then returned it to me not as described. And I was like, what are you talking about? So she's telling me it was all dirty, it was all this and that. She used it because I was able to prove it in the pictures. Then she tried to clean it, so to cover it up. And she sent it back to me better than what it was. So she used it. And then I was like, look, I can prove you did this and that. And of course I lost that case, unfortunately. And I got threatened by her, like, I know all these people on eBay. I'm going to... Go ahead, sweetheart. God blesses me. God will protect me. I'm not worried about what a human can do. So you got to worry about these people. So there's more yarn. That's the other lady's for her little kit that came back. This was a little musical. It just sang. It didn't move. Gator for Christmas. It was really cute. And I did have a video of this up to make sure it worked. Yarn. That was just a pattern. This is the really good yarn. So if you focus in on this, see if I can do it. That colorway, if it shows there, that colorway is gorgeous, and it's sold. That was over $100 for 5, I believe it was. Really sells well. This was S'mores Pants. Crabtree and Evelyn, or Evelyn, however you want to say it. I call it Evelyn. Rosewater. I love that smell, but as I've gotten older, I noticed that the scent bothers me. So I'm selling off my new items that I have. I have a gift set, and I think I have a couple of bottles like this left. I think it might be just the lotion or just the shower gel. I'm not sure which one, but brand new. More yarn. Pair of shoes. Again, do the bed test before I send it. Crochet. Yarn. Yarn. Guess what's next? Not yarn. Okay. This was a tablecloth where you cross-stitched on it. That was a wild card for me. It seemed to do well. I bought it and it sold fairly quickly, within like a couple months. Excuse me, sorry, I didn't mean to boop. Hoover vacuum bags. Those are the only 2 I've sold so far. Those were those boots where the lady claimed they were broken. So this is where I'm going to bring this up because I kind of tagged it on the end of the last video. There is more and more instances where people are using AI to claim damage to an item, so you'll give them a partial refund. If you're watching this and you're new to the business, please take care and caution. I can't tell you what to do, but to me, for those pair of boots, I said return it. I want them back. And in the end, she never, or they, I don't know if it was he or she, they never ended up returning them. So it was a done deal and it was over with. Finding this, I watched various people like Commonwealth Picker. I watch ADHD, which is not his name anymore. I watched Beard Thrift Machine. I don't think Picker Pro. I don't think they talked about it there. But the other ones I mentioned, Trash to Cash podcast is another good one. They all come on, like American Arbitrage, things like that. Those are the ones I watch mainly. And they've all talked about this. And it's true because it just happened to me with those boots. There's no way those boots were damaged when they went out and she got them. There's no way. Because I bend test all my shoes and I make sure they don't crack before I send them. Because if they do, I'm going to say, look, they cracked. I'm sorry. Maybe just from having them for no storage, they got ruined, so I'd like to refund you the money. I'm sorry. Or can I send you something else? You know, whatever you may want for that. So if you're just starting out, please be very, very careful when you're doing that. Very cautious with partial refunds. Now I did with the yarn because it wasn't worth sending it back. I'm like, here's a couple bucks back, you know, and then I block them. I'm done with them because your stupidity is not my problem because you don't know how to open a package. I don't mean to be mean, but use care when you're opening packages. Just don't blatantly cut something because what if it's a piece of clothing, you know, just anyway, stuff like that. That's my rant for that. This was a plate, so adorable. That took a couple years to sell. I knew it would eventually. I think I may have even lowered the price on it. If I ever see these again, does that show? Surf and Sand. If you see those, buy them. I had them as a lot of the two, and one person came in and bought them all. Did well. That was a rubber stamp for quilting. That was yarn. These were Pioneer Woman napkins. Those took a couple years to sell as well. When I bought them, they resold high, but then I had to reduce the price a couple times. A pair of boots that never got returned. They were good. That was a pair of glass ornaments, vintage. That was somebody who bought a couple of them. That was a Hobby Lobby Grinch item. That was from Aldi's, the Hawaiian Stuffy Mix. I still have a bunch left over. If they don't sell before, I think they have a good shelf life, I'm going to donate them and get them out of my inventory. That was yarn. This is a Spode Church. Now, I do wish, no, I did buy the other one. It just hasn't sold. If I ever see these again, I will buy it. This sold at asking price. Did not get an offer. And I think that's all I sold for. Yep, that is all I have sold this year. So in total, let me go back up to the top. My cousin sent me a Valentine's Day card. Yeah, I know my holidays. St. Patrick's Day card. She's always wonderful with that. She's great. I do have some family outside of the Boston area, and I do miss them. I miss that area totally. So how much in total? Now, when I share, I'm going to just give you items. I sold 89 items so far in basically 2 months. That is awesome. That's great. I mean, this time last year, I wasn't doing that. I was lucky to have a couple items sell in a week. And like today, I have 5 going out. Yeah, I think I have 5 going out today. God is blessing me. I know people, you have your own opinions. I believe in God. I trust God. I praise God. And I believe he's going to bless every single day, you know, of my life. Doesn't mean my life is perfect. It has its struggles. It has its hardships. But I'm being taken care of beautifully. I'm very happy with this. So I think I talked about the AI, which was another video. I wanted to kind of stress that here. In terms of shipping, I found, if you're looking to get into yarn, I found a wonderful, I don't have a phone here. My phone's on the charger. A wonderful bag to ship yarn in. Hold tight. I'll be right back. I'm going to pause. All right, so I'm back. I wanted to go get my Amazon. So this is what I ordered. Is it going to show? Hopefully it shows there. 7.5 by 10.5. That's actually what I ended up buying for yarn. Just for one, it'll hold one skein. Excuse me. Very well. That way, because usually I cut my bags. I try to save resources because bags aren't cheap. As you saw, that was $14 for, 100 bags. So that's, you know, that's money going out. So when I was buying the full bags, it's always right here. I usually ship in, will that show? Oh, sorry, it's really bright. When's it gonna, okay, so I usually ship in that. I've been buying that size 12.5 by 15.5 since I started doing this. And I always buy the blue. It's just unique and to me. And when I did yarn, I would usually cut them in half, and that's how I would seal my bags for that. And then when I started getting the eBay bags through my store, I was modifying those too, but it's not working out as well. That's when that lady cut the rug yarn. So I bought those 7.5 ones, and they have been working wonderful for just one skein. So it gets in there if I have multiple ones, if they'll fit in there, like the rug yarn fits in there. I make sure I tape the top so they don't cut it shut, but I'm finding that works out great. So that's just a piece of advice for you if you're looking for a special bag. It's 7.5 by 10.5. That's what I found. I mean, I went through, it took me some time to find that size bag, measuring the yarn and making sure it fits and and finding ones that work for me. I use just plain color because it's the cheapest one. I do the blue because I like the blue. I have really large bags that are dark blue. I mean, I don't even know what the size are. They're like 3 times the size of that, because sometimes you need the really large ones for mailing, but I very rarely use that. Like I ship the coat in something like the big blue bag. So for that, my boxes, you've seen that. I just went through boxes to ship the Madame Alexander dolls. I didn't want to throw that in a poly. I threw that in a box. I ended up paying a little extra out of my profit for that box, but I wanted to get there safely. What else can I share in terms of this? I don't think anything else, but today is March 4th. Today's Champ's birthday. He turns 1 year old today. There he is sleeping by my feet. There's the birthday boy. So tonight I'm going to go ship. I'm going to go to, I think Petco is near the Goodwill. I'm going to go in there and get him a little treat for his birthday. He's the only dog. I've had rescues for 20 some odd years. So I've never known my dog's actual birthday. It's always been the gotcha day. So he's unique because I know his birthday because I have his paperwork. He was from a breeder to my niece, unfortunately, and then I just didn't mean it that way. My niece got him from a breeder, so that unfortunately she couldn't take care of him, so he came to me. So he's the only one I know of a birthday. So I'm going to go get him a little treat, and then I'm going to go to the Goodwill, and then I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby. I don't think I'll have time to go to the church to get, because they close at 5, so I don't think I'll have time by the time I do my errands to get there in time. But for honey holes for yarn, if that's what you're looking to get into, I go to the churches. You go to retirement homes. Some of them have a thrift store in there. Goodwill, sorry, I'm going to say Salvation Army is hit and miss for me. I also go to clearance and closeouts, things like that. I haven't ventured into estate sales. I would like to do that. So if you're in my area and would like to go with me, you know, please let me know. I'll go with you. I'd like to start doing that this year and try hit it. And then also yard sales. I'm going to try to go, but Saturday mornings are my day to relax. Every other day I'm up at 4 a.m., 4 to 5, usually by 4. And Sundays I'm up early to go to church. So Saturdays are kind of my chill out in the morning day, and I treasure that. Getting up, feeding the dogs, putting them out, taking care of things, and then coming in the house and just chilling. I treasure that. So, but I do want to try to hit some yard sales. I'm going to look for them. I am going to have my own in June to get rid of some stuff that from my house, period, and just be done with it. So trying to think what else I can share. If you have any questions for me about reselling, please let me know. I don't want to share my exact figures. That's just, to me, it's personal, it's income, but I can tell you where I was this time last year. It has doubled. It has done, if not more. It's just wonderful. It's great. I'm not sure what the switch is. Maybe the store helped because I have an eBay store now. I got that about a year ago, and that all happened as a result. When they were doing the renewals on my listings every month, it was counting towards my total listings. And I have about, does it say? I think 1,300 items in my store currently. And probably half of that is yarn, to be honest. I got a lot of yarn. The next biggest one is probably shoes. Don't have as many clothes, but then the other stuff is, I have a lot of stuffed animals that you can see upstairs when you look at my other videos. So that is where we are with that. But this video has gone longer than I thought it would, but have a wonderful day. Have a blessed day. I'll try to make a point of recapping what I sold like on a monthly basis so you can kind of see if you're trying to learn where you would like to go. But where you're going to start may not be where you end up. Like me, I was in shoes and sneakers. That's where I started. And then a little bit of everything. I mean, I was kind of like finding my way. And then I was in shoes and sneakers. And that's what I did. And that's what I sold the most of. When I started this 4 years ago, that's what I sold the most of. And it was enough just to help me make my roof payment. That's what I wanted, because I didn't know how I was going to pay off my roof. So that's where it is. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. Let's have an open discussion about things. And otherwise, have a great day. Have a blessed day. And happy birthday, champ. Bye.